Hi, I'm Sarah Hebert from the NHJA Library, and throughout the next couple of years, we will get to know each other well. However, today we are going to specifically talk about the assignment you have to research a dental product. Now, you should know that I have a lot of experience with this assignment. It's your first time doing it, but I've been helping students for 10 years. So please don't hesitate to ask me for help. I know a lot of tricks. I've done it many, many times, and I'm here to help make life easy for you. So the first thing you want to do is figure out what it is about your product that makes it special. So why would someone choose to buy your product as opposed to a similar product? Now I have a couple toothpaste here, and we're going to start out with a really easy example. So this toothpaste is Tom's of Maine with activated charcoal. So if you think about it, why do you think I bought this? I bought it for the charcoal, right? I actually bought it because a lot of the dental hygiene and dental assisting students were talking about this last year, and I was curious. So this is a really easy one. The thing that makes this one special is the charcoal. And if you're just curious, yes, it is black. So that's what it looks like inside. It's not for the faint of heart. So that's an easy one. Here's one that's a little bit harder. This one is Crest Complete with Scope. So again, why buy this one instead of just any Crest product? It's because it's with Scope. That's what makes it special. And the Scope is supposed to kill bad breath germs. And then lastly, we have this one. This is just Colgate Total. Total because it's supposed to do everything possible. So it works with plaque, whitening, sensitivity, etc. This is a harder product because there's nothing that really makes it especially special, to be a little redundant. So what you want to do is try to figure out what the biggest claim to fame is. In this case, on the front it says advanced whitening, so I might look up whitening. It also says sensitivity relief in really big letters, so that's another possibility to look at. So step one, figure out why someone would want to buy this product and what makes it special. Now let's take a look at some of the electronic resources that you'll use for this project. Okay, so your first step is to figure out what makes your product special. Now, if you have your product, you can just look at it, or you might want to go to the product's website. So for instance, let's say I had that Tom's of Maine charcoal toothpaste. I'm going to Google their site and click on it. And here it is. So what I would really want to do here is just kind of read and find out why are people buying charcoal toothpaste. So it tells me here that it gently whitens teeth. It has some other things here too, not tested on animals, no animal ingredients, things like that. But the reason that most people are going to buy this is because it gently whitens teeth. So now there are two things that I want to know. First off, does it really whiten teeth? And secondly, is it gentle? To do that, what I really need to know is what the ingredient is that is helping the product accomplish this claim. Now again, this one's really easy. It's charcoal. So if I click on the ingredients, and I will tell you that Tom's of Maine is a fabulous website. They list all the ingredients and what they do. Some of you have products where it's going to be a lot harder to find ingredients, and I will show you one of my tricks that I've learned over the years, but you may have to kind of dig for that. But in the case of Tom's, just to demonstrate, it tells you all of the different ingredients that are in the toothpaste and what they do. So why does it have sodium fluoride? It's anti-cavity. What is a sorbitol? Is a moistener. Xylitol, sweetener. And then if we come down a little bit farther, we're going to see the charcoal, which it says is for gentleness or whitening. So what you'll have to do is find out the ingredients of your product and then find out which ingredient is accomplishing this special thing that your product does. Now, while we're here, just a quick note about sodium fluoride. So a lot of times it'll say that that's the active ingredient. That doesn't necessarily mean that is the special ingredient for your product. Because with toothpaste, I showed you 3 toothpastes earlier. Every single one of them had fluoride. Most toothpastes have fluoride. So you're gonna have to look beyond the fluoride and try to figure out what is the special thing. So is it charcoal? Is it the scope? Is it something that is anti-sensitivity within the Colgate Total that we looked at? What is it? So this is Tom's of Maine. Again, they spoil you if you have a Tom's of Maine product because they will tell you all of the ingredients and what they do. Most of you, though, will have to go a little bit further. So here's what I have learned over the years. Walgreens has a really, really great website when it comes to ingredients. Most of you will be able to find your ingredients on the Walgreens website. So we're going to go to Walgreens, and we're going to look up Crest with Scope. So I can use this not only to find the ingredients, but also to kind of find what the claim to fame is. So if for some reason we didn't know what scope was, we could look here. So we come here, and it'll tell you a little bit about it: superior cleaning, thorough protection, etc. And the fact that the scope is for bad breath. Here are my ingredients. So if we take a look, again, there's the fluoride. That's not why we're going to buy this particular type of toothpaste. And then as we're going through, it's got some water. We just learned about sorbitol from the last toothpaste, so on and so forth. I'm going to skip down here to the zinc. So zinc citrate. Now I know because I have worked on this a lot that zinc has some sort of connection with bad breath. So what you may want to do is go through all of these ingredients and look up what they are, and it may tell you, it is for thickening or it is a sweetener. But when you get to things like zinc, it will tell you, if you Google it, that it has something to do with malodor, bad breath, halitosis. And then that's the one we want to look up. Because remember, the reason we're buying this specific toothpaste is because it has the scope, and the scope helps with bad breath, and the zinc is what combats it. So you have a couple of different options. You can look through these, and you can go to Google and look them up and see what they all do. You can also put them into the database and just see what comes back. And of course, you can always ask me for help. I can help you as well. So that's the next thing we want to do. So first we want to figure out what's special. Secondly, we want to find out which ingredient it is that is doing that thing that's making it special. And then after that, we want some unbiased research. So when we look at a product's website, we're going to find a lot of things. Crest is not going to put on their website that this is a terrible toothpaste that stains your teeth. Not that I'm saying that it is. I'm just making that up. So you don't necessarily want to go to the product's website to find out whether or not it's an effective tool. You want to go somewhere that's unbiased. And of course, we have that for you at the library. So we're going to take a moment and we're going to go over to the library's website so that I can show you some of the tools that you can use for this project. Okay, here we are on the college's website. To get to the library's resources, we come up to Support and Success. And then from there, we're going to go down to Library, Research, and Resources. And from here, there are a lot of different resources available to you. I'm going to point you in what I think is the best direction, though. One thing, though, before we start that I want to point out is down here at the bottom, there's a chat box. If you have a question and you want an immediate answer, please come down to the chat, type in what your question is, and then someone on staff will answer it. It might not necessarily be me, but if they don't know the answer, they will probably refer you to me. But this will give you an instantaneous response and someone to talk to. Okay, so back up at the top, we have something here called Quick Search. This allows you to access all of the library's resources, so books, ebooks, nursing databases, engineering databases, biology databases, lots of different resources. For this project, I don't recommend that you start here because you will get too many things back usually. We have a very, very good database specifically for dental science that is great for this project. So I'm going to show you how to get to that database. To do that, we want to click on the research guides. And then from there, we're going to come down to health sciences. And then specifically dental assisting and dental hygiene. Now, this is a guide that you should be familiar with your entire time at NHTI. Because basically what I've done is taken all of the library's resources and put them in one spot for you. So that it's very, very specific. Almost everything you need is on this page under these tabs. So this is the first place I would go. And for this project, I would start by going to this database here, Dentistry and Oral Sciences Source. This is a database that we specifically subscribe to for dental hygiene and dental assisting students that contains the top dental journals in the world. So this is a great place to go. And here it is. Now what you want to do in most cases is put in not the name of your product, but the ingredient. And that's why we went through thinking about what's special about your product, what the ingredient is that does that thing. So you want to put it there. Sometimes you can put in the name of your product and there will be a study out there that specifically names your product. But a lot of times when they do research, they don't name the product, they name the ingredient. So that's why I recommend that you start with the ingredient. Now, when we looked it up, it was, zinc citrate was in the Crestwood scope. So I'm going to put in zinc citrate. And I'm getting 60 results back, so that's not too bad. One of the first things you want to do when you look at results, though, is scroll down, look at the publication date. These go back to 1980. That is way too old for this project. In a lot of cases, they have found out many things about ingredients since 1980. So I'm going to bump that up to the last 10 years. Okay, now I'm down to only 7. And you'll notice here that the first one has to do with bacteria. This one has to do with enamel rehardening, hypersensitivity. These have nothing to do with bad breath. So what I'm going to do is take out citrate because I don't know that that is really, really important. Zinc is important. So I'm going to put in zinc this time. But now I have 1,000 results, which is too many results. So I am going to put in bad breath. Now, you could put in halitosis, that's fine too. The reason I'm putting in bad breath is because the databases have specific words that they use, and bad breath is the term that the databases have chosen to cover malodor, bad breath, and halitosis. And again, that's a librarian's secret. So if you work with me, I can help you with those little things. If you're struggling, please ask, because it could be something like you put in halitosis, which makes perfect sense, but it was actually bad breath. So we're going to put in zinc and bad breath. 23 now. This first one is a mouth rinse, so I might want to go through again and even refine it more by putting in toothpaste. Here's a good one. Okay. This is strontium and zinc containing toothpaste on volatile sulfur compounds in morning breath. For demonstration purposes, we're going to click on that one. Now here is my title. One of the things you need is to be able to find sources that are evidence-based. This one you can kind of tell it's probably evidence-based just by looking at the title, because they tell you that they did a clinical study. But the best way to figure it out is to come down here and read through. You will know that it's evidence-based because it basically looks like all those lab reports you've written over your schooling career. It's going to have an introduction, it's going to have method, materials, it'll tell you exactly how they did the research, what their results were. You want articles that were written by the people who actually did the research. You don't want an article that just mentions your product or says that so-and-so on the CBS morning show reported on a study that was written about in the New York Times, because at this point, we're getting way too far away from the actual study. So you want to read the study, you want to read it by the people who conducted the experiment. And you should be able to tell by looking at this. If you're still having trouble, just let me know. And then once you find something you like, to access the article, and this is a little bit odd, you actually come over to the left-hand side. You have two choices. HTML full text here is only going to be text. I recommend always click on PDF if you can, because then you will get charts, you will get pictures, which can be disturbing in the dental database, but I know you all can handle it. So I would always go to PDF, and then here is your article. So whether you're on campus or off campus, you can read this article in full text. A couple other little quick tools with the article. You can save it to your Google Drive. You can print it. You can email it. That's how I like to keep track of all of my articles. You can also save a link. Now this is really important. Do not save this link here. So if I were going to send you a link from the Concord Monitor or my Amazon wish list or something like that, I would send this to you up here. Databases are different though, because they are looking at a lot of different information. There's a lot of temporary information up here in this link. So don't save that one, because I will tell you that tomorrow it probably won't work. So you won't be able to access the article again. You won't be able to send it to your instructor. So don't save that link. Come down here, click on this little chain thing, and then it will give you a permanent link. This link will always bring you back to this article. This link will probably make you sad. This link you can trust. So permanent links. And then the last thing I want to show you over here is this kind of yellowish paper. That'll give you a citation. Now for this, we're going to look at an APA citation right here. Just looking at this, it looks pretty good. But keep in mind that a human didn't write this, a computer did. So I always double check these to make sure that they are correct. I don't just copy and paste them and assume. Especially with APA, they make a lot of mistakes. Sometimes they have trouble with capitalization. Like this whole thing would be in caps, as if it were shouting the citation at you. So double check. Don't just believe it blindly. It even tells you up here. Make sure it pays special attention. Make sure that it's correct before you put it in your paper. Now going back to the results, that's an example of one that is available right now in full text. HTML, PDF. But not all of them are going to be in full text. Some of them, like this one, might say full text finder. You'll also notice that it says right here, this title is held locally. That means that we have a copy of the article in the library. We have it physically in the library. But for a full text finder, what you do is click on it, and then it tells you that it thinks it's at 2 places, basically at the publisher's website. Sometimes it might bring you into another database. Sometimes it will bring it onto the internet. Sometimes it fails miserably. We're going to see what happens today. Okay, so it brought us out to the publisher's website. And yeah, it's not going to give you full text. So if this happened, what you should do is contact us at the library, because like I said, we subscribe to this in print. So we could find this for you. Or we can do something called interlibrary loan, where we will ask other libraries throughout the United States and Canada to send us articles for you. That is an amazing resource, but you have to plan ahead, because sometimes it takes us over a week to get an article back. Now, I say this every year. I know that you all have a lot of work right now, but please do your research for this project early, because I want you to do really well and to have the articles that you need. And if you wait until the last minute and you have a product that's a little bit harder to find information on, we may not be able to get everything you need in time. If it's the Friday before the project is due, and we have to ask someone in Saskatchewan, Canada, to send us an article, you're probably not going to get that over the weekend. So please do your research early. You can meet with me. We can work on it together, just to make sure that you have the things you need for when you write the paper. So that's a brief overview of this database. Back here on the research guide, just a few more things to think about. You have the Writing Tools tab. Now, I can help you with the research portion of this paper, finding the articles that you need, evaluating them, finding out about your product. However, when you go to write your paper, you'll want to ask for help from the Writing Center. So their information is down here. So if you need help with APA citations, sentence structure, grammar, anything like that, they can help you, either in person or online. I can help you with the research components. Also over here we have a Help tab. This has some nice tutorials to get you started with things that students frequently ask about. There's also a page here that is full of lots of different types of video tutorials. And there's information up here about how to contact the library for help. So back to the Home tab. Over here on the left-hand side, you have my contact information. So there's my email address. And then if we go down further, you have my phone number. Many ways to get in contact with me so that I can help you with this project. Okay, now I hope that you have a much better grasp of this project and all of the different resources that we have available to you. But don't forget, I am happy to help you with this project. As you can tell, I take the information that you all find, and I make my own dental product decisions based on that. Plus, it's a really fun project. I love to do research, so please don't hesitate to ask me for help. Remember, we can meet by phone, we can meet by Zoom, we can meet in person, we can email back and forth, whatever works for you. I'm here to help, and like I said earlier, to make your life a little bit easier.